On this channel, we're more than just trying things.
Even though Eugene clearly hates us, we're still best friends.
We have been trending. My BMs have been wild.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the funeral roast of the Try Guys. I am Redacted. I am a podcaster and truth seeker. I just like to quickly plug my podcast called Why the Government is Trying to Kill You, sponsored by Squarespace. Yeah. Before I begin, I think we need to address the elephant in the room.
Thanks, man.
On to the reason I am here. I have committed the past 10 years of my life uncovering conspiracies about the Try Guys, and today I am going to reveal all of them. Everyone likes to talk about the Try Guys, but nobody has ever asked why guys.
Okay.
Sure, you may think they're just some innocent guys that look like they're in some kind of retired ska band. But don't be fooled. They're in the pockets of big corporations. Zach is funded by Big Oil, and Keith is funded by Big Mouth. Have you ever actually thought who loves the Try Guys? Saying you love the Try Guys is like saying you love that channel that comes on when you go into your hotel and you turn on the TV. No, the Try Guys are at the front of every major government psyop. As we all know, the CIA funded modern art to increase patriotism. The CIA funded the Try Guys to decrease patriotism. Because there's something so grossly American about getting paid to make cakes poorly? But the conspiracies don't stop there, folks. They are using a fake Eugene to film their videos. Yeah, that's right. I know it's very hard to tell, but if you look closely, you will see that when Eugene isn't there to film, which is often, they're using a scarecrow with concealer. Now, surprisingly, that scarecrow puts in just about as much effort as Eugene does, so it's really hard to notice. I mean, just look at their series. Eat the Menu is to promote obesity. Without a Recipe is a psyop by the Barefoot Contessa to sell more cookbooks. And their vlogs, well, their vlogs are just plain bad. Now here's another truth bomb. The Try Guys movie and Keith's off-Broadway production were a conspiracy for the Try Guys to lose thousands of dollars. That's good. Look, you can find out all these things if you just pay attention. And much like the Try Guys, you have conspiracies. That's right.
Oh, God.
Shayne Topp is trying to do the splits in the hopes that his balls will finally drop. Hell yeah!
Stupid. I love it.
Arasha was born after 9/11, which is a government conspiracy to make me feel old and really bad about myself. Now, Chance, you and me share in this conspiracy. Chance believes the Earth is flat. However, that's only because his whole personality is two-dimensional.
Whoa! My God!
It's okay, baby.
That was good.
Now, Kelsey here is a friend of the Try Guys, also on their podcast, Guilty Pleasures. Kelsey, you may not know, has chronic pain. What you don't know is she uses that chronic pain to distract from the pain of being chronically unfunny.
Oh my God! Damn!
I love it.
Damien Haas.
Oh, God.
You know, last time I dropped a pretty heavy fact on you about you being unfuckable. I'm sorry, but blame the government. But I have an even larger truth bomb to drop on you guys today. And I don't know if you're gonna be ready for this. Damien Haas is white.
What?
Is this how you tell me?
That's about it for me, but I just have one more important thing to share with everyone that the government does not want you to know.
Oh, my God.
If you go to smosh.com right now, there is a new great roast shirt that you can purchase.
Get your bag,
It's
bitch.
pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. Now, stay safe, and I hope you're watching this through a VPN.
Hey guys, it's me, Shayne. No characters this time. Just me. It's a real shame. It's not every day you get to meet two guys who look like a porn parody of Big Bang Theory.
Wow.
Holy I haven't told a lot of people this, and I'm gonna be really vulnerable here, but ever since I was a little boy, my dream was to be a try guy. I mean, these guys were like kings. Being a try guy was at the top of the pyramid of boring white guy careers. I mean, they could walk into any restaurant, like, you know. Many people don't know this, but back when the Try Guys started, back in 2014, 2013, I auditioned to be a Try Guy. And I went into that room and I gave it my all. I tried so hard, but I got beat out by someone else. Someone else that they said would be more loyal. So I set my dreams a little far lower, and I joined Smosh.
Nice.
I never gave up on my dream of being a try guy, even here at Smosh. I would say I'm the biggest tryhard here at Smosh, and that's saying something because I work with Courtney and Damien. What really twisted the knife, though, was that the try guys would often come here and be guests. And every time I thought, maybe this is my chance. Maybe they'll see me. They'll see my potential. But no, every time they saw right past me. Like I didn't exist, you know? And it's ridiculous. I try stuff. I try stuff every goddamn day. I try not to laugh. Oh. But I always do. Even when the jokes aren't funny, which they never are. I try not to let my forehead conquer the rest of my face. Like, is my hairline receding or is something far more sinister going on here? I try to act interested when Ian talks about Burning Man. I try to understand Damien's obsession with crows. Yes! Oh, sorry. And his one joke where he says all of our names just slightly wrong. It's been really funny for years. I try so hard to say one thing that they don't turn into a shirt. Come on. Yeah, there it is. My life is a prison I can't escape. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. I would do that. No, I get it. I'll never be like you. I'll never look like the adult version of, do you have games on your phone? I'll never look like the only groupies at a Jack Johnson concert.
Oh.
Or two junior correspondents at CNN.
That's stupid.
I'll never look like a guy who orgasms by going, oh! I'll never be like Keith, who looks like a creature from Attack on Titan. Oh I'll never be like Zach, who got MRSA. Okay, Mr. Genius. young Sheldon over there. Man, all I wanted was just to be in one Try Guy video. Then I would have been in as many as Eugene. So cool. There is an upside to working at Smosh, and it's that we'll never have a Ned situation because all of us are just a bunch of the most unfuckable losers on the planet. You know what it sounds like when we orgasm? Me neither. Because it never happens. No, you guys are actually so talented. I'm trying to do a thing where I say something nice in one of these. I'm actually a big fan. I always have been, and you guys are great, and you've always been so kind to me. But, you know, f you guys.
I'm Kelsey. I host a podcast with the boys called Guilty Pleasures. My boys, they're gone. It's so sad, but let's be real. At least now their wives can finally start dating within their league. I mean, seriously, Zach's wife is a pediatric ICU nurse. Like, she literally saves children's lives, while Zach is putting things up his butt for children to watch. Now, I don't want to brag, but Zach's wife once did say that if Zach had to have sex with someone on camera, she would want it to be me because she knows how incredibly unattracted to Zach I am. I mean, is it just me, or is it wild that his dead body somehow makes him look more f***able? No, I will actually miss Zach, because we did have a lot in common. We both suffer from chronic pain. I don't really know if that's a surprise, though, because Zach somehow managed to make an invisible illness incredibly visible. I couldn't tell if this was his funeral, honestly, because he's looked dead for years. Zach's greatest fear in life was not being respected by the world and his peers, but buddy. He was unironically obsessed with the movie Trolls, but I just think that was him just trying to reconnect with his people. Zach had the most sensitive stomach, which he blamed on his Judaism, but I just think he was weak. He never likes to eat anything exotic, which is how I know his Peruvian wife, Maggie, never gets her pussy eaten.
How dare you!
Just so sad. The only thing more sensitive than his stomach was his ego. When he was still alive, Zach would spend countless hours doom scrolling the Try Guys Reddit threads. And then there's Keith. When I first met Keith, he yelled at me for not knowing how to zoom in properly with a camera. Yeah, I still remember that. It's weird you cared so much about image, but never your own style. I mean, I have never seen a man who dresses more like a middle-aged Republican while still managing to act incredibly gay. I can say that because I've eaten more pussy than Keith. Keith's wife is also out of his league. She's actually a professional beauty guru, which is sad that she never shared any tips with Keith. I mean, why does it always look like Keith is wearing a diaper? I mean, it's not just his clothes. His mannerisms are just completely revolting. He's always like scrunching his nose and has resting stank face and kind of cracking his knuckles. It's almost like if a Disney villain worked at Target. And he has the worst tongue I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it is a geographic tongue. It's disgusting. I can make the whole rest of this roast about Keith's horrible tongue. It's easily the most despicable thing in Try Guys history, which... No. Keith, he did have one good quality. He did drugs. If you ever did acid, Keith was the best trip sitter until he started to morph into like a haunted puppet. Then it was just terrifying. Keith wanted to pursue musical theater, but that would require him to actually come out of the closet. The Try Guys will be lived on by their book, The Hidden Power of F***ing Up, which is like if you asked ChatGPT to write a book after dropping it in the toilet. It's too bad, though. I mean, they just hired an HR company full-time. But like all the Try Guys materials, they were just a little behind the curve on that one. Before the Try Guys' bodies are recycled into crash test dummies, I want to apologize to Zach for posting a video of his penis in a BuzzFeed video once. Thankfully, nobody saw it, because it's so small. But I do hope you'll forgive me for that one tiny, little, tiny, small, baby little, microscopic mistake. Rest in peace, boys.
I'm coming back for you later.
Come on! I love it. I love it.
Yep.
I saw your tiny penis. Hello, everyone. It's me. I'm the founder of the multi-trillion-dollar media corporation BuzzFeed. Yeah, I'm a bee. Never thought you two would be the first one of us to die, huh? Well, look at you now, dead. But I'll be there soon. In 2006, I was just a humble little bumblebee with a dream. A dream of making content that could kill as many brain cells as possible while still legally being able to call ourselves news. Speaking of which, I'm sure you've all heard by the time this video comes out, and as of yesterday while filming it, we got rid of our news division. We're fine. Our website was responsible for breaking such classic news, hard-hitting journalism as 15 gifs of baby foxes that make you go, aww. And quizzes such as, tell us your favorite ice cream flavor and we'll tell you which ice cream flavor you are. Safe to say, our company, for quite a time, was getting a lot of buzz. Feed.
Oh.
She liked it. We decided to expand into the video realm of things eventually, going after the demographic of 18 to 25 brain cells left. Enter the Try Guys. Now, where did I find this Ocean's 11 of former trombone players? Well, I went where anyone would go, the bread aisle of a grocery store, where these two were looking for new personalities. They were perfect, like the human version of a newsy cap. I would also mention Eugene, but Eugene is still in the Try Guys in the same way that I had a Canadian supermodel girlfriend in high school.
What?
I didn't, he's not. We were thriving, and my chess club Justice League was doing their thing. They were doing hard-hitting subjects like food, drinks, and the differences between men and women, the two genders. Now, I put my whole sting-ussy into making you guys... into making you guys the One Direction of just kind of looking, just kind of a little bit weird. But my world crumbled when you two decided to leave. I was so sad my eyes came a gallon of honey. That's how bees work. Now, I know BuzzFeed has been accused of pushing out meaningless content, stupid little lists and quizzes, but I'm proud of how much we promote those quizzes and how much we eliminate our paid staff. I made so many stars, each one more important than our last. Our best producer, La Quinta Brownstone. Our top chef, Rosemary Potato. And most importantly, my two favorite little guys, Zach Cornbread and Keith Mouth. Zach, I feel like I'd make more jokes about you, but I think they'd go right over your head.
Oh.
Because you're just a little tiny little guy. Now, I'll be honest. When you left BuzzFeed, I would have killed you on the spot. But we bees only get one sting. And I'm saving that for Sophia Night Guardian. Now, for old time's sake, let's get one little list in here, right? 10 reasons why Smosh is bound to fail. Number 1, Ian. No, but seriously, you guys are great. Slave, that's for later.
Hi, I'm back. If you don't know, I'm the coroner who conducted the autopsy for mythical chef Josh. I was planning on retiring, but then I was specifically requested to perform the Try Guy's funeral because all of the other coroners were ugly. I don't know anything about the Try Guys, but I've been told that they're famous for doing stuff. However, according to my findings, there's a few things they didn't try. Cardio. Weightlifting.
Yeah.
Getting any sunlight. Having sex without crying. And being funny.
Whoa.
Doing this autopsy was almost as grueling as watching the Try Guys documentary. But nevertheless, she persisted. On to the results. Both Keith and Zach had what we call step-dad bods, which is like a normal dad bod, except seeing them makes you want to die. When examining their brains, their egos were completely enlarged. It entirely replaced the part of their brain responsible for being fun to talk to at parties. Their dopamine receptors were fully fried from their constant intake of drugs and alcohol for content. Which I would have assumed they were fried from having to fake enjoy their own video ideas for so long. Let's talk about Keith. Keith's immune system was completely destroyed by eating every item on a bunch of fast food menus. His white blood cells were just about as scarce as the hair on Zach's head.
Yeah. You can laugh, it's okay.
Keith did so many episodes of Eat the Menu, he developed the personality of a sandwich. Subway, Keith Fresh.
Come on.
Keith's abdomen showed signs of irritation from when they did a video simulating the pain of childbirth. This had very negative effects because now he's annoying. Finally, there was Zach. Zach is short like a little baby. When When Zach was a child, he almost lost one of his balls because his nutsack got twisted. Thank God he didn't, though. Now he has the balls to try things like drinking boba. On a more serious note, Zach was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis. And if you don't know what that is, it essentially means he had to make several unbearable vlogs. They say it's an invisible illness, yet he still looks like Tiny Tim graduated from USC. When examining Zach's foot, I noticed he recently had MRSA. Okay, genius. Now that it's over, I can finally move on to my retirement. I'm going to pursue my dreams of spelunking through all of the world's largest caves, starting, of course, with Keith's mouth.
Hi, my name is Jacklyn Uweh, and I have been on the Smosh channel for going on 4 years. And as a cast member on this channel, I really make a concerted effort not to, lean into racial stereotypes. I try to avoid like the angry black woman motif at all times. But I've been a Try Guys fan since 2014, and I do have some questions. So if everyone is okay and everyone feels safe in this space, would it be okay if I speak candidly about the Try Guys? Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Great. Y'all, what the f***? No, really, what the f*** is going on the channel? I'm telling you, I watch every Saturday. Yeah, I do. The channel, it's messy right now. It's all over the place. I mean, let's talk about it. Ned had a fucking affair. He did. He f***ed around, okay? And your best marketing strategy was to go with the color orange. You just went with the color orange. The face of Donald Trump, the worst Gatorade flavor. Nobody looks good in orange. Look, Zach, I've wanted to say this to you for years. Being bad at things is not a personality trait. It's not, okay? Look, I love that you're feeling more secure. You got the hair plugs, okay? You got with Maggie, okay? Look, you've been working out. We can call you Mr. Thickums. And also, look, you're a f***ing dog. It's not the favorite dog. Let's be honest. I know we all watch the Barkshire. Okay, some of us watch the Barkshire. Okay? Eugene's dogs are the ones that everybody loves. Just because Bowie has blue eyes does not mean he is the favorite dog, okay? Ian has blue eyes, and he is absolutely not the favorite cast member. And one other thing, I just have to get off my chest. Every time you bring up a serious topic, it's like you're doing spoken word poetry. I don't get it. I don't know what is going on. They're all very important issues, but I cannot unhear it. I have heard it for years. I'm like, okay. Keith, look. We do not need more synthesizer on the fucking tripod. It is too fucking much. You are not Tame Impala. I only like 3 things in my life: Degrassi, pasta, and the Try Guys. 2 of those things have never wronged me. Like, think about it, okay? I love pasta. I love pasta. I love it. But there is a limit, okay? I mean, it wouldn't make sense if a little pasta noodle climbed out of the pasta bowl and was like, You know what I would say to that little noodle? I would say, get the f back in the bowl and do your job. Okay? No more tours for this little noodle. If the little noodle, another little noodle got out of the little pasta bowl and was like, I'm gonna make a 5-minute choreographed video about my coming out story, I would support it. I would really support it because that's strength. Let's be clear, I am a big fan. Big fan. I bought the Try Guys documentary.
Wow.
With my own money. And then you went and you put the whole documentary on YouTube for free. I would like my money back. Don't act like you carry cash.
Bitch! Get your bag! Get your bag!
Oh, your wallet's in the green room. I'll see you later.
So true.
Lioness. You know you don't have money in there. You don't.
I've never carried cash.
He doesn't carry cash. Look, a real fan knows. Another question I have. What is stopping you from making Quasi a Try Guy? Yeah, I'm asking the fucking questions that the people want to know. The man is charming, he's charismatic, and I love the way that he says sandwich. I love that man. I know he's married. Look, you guys need more support, okay? Look, Eugene went to the mailbox and he never came back. All right, we get it. Zach, you might give yourself MRSA again. Look, get off the fucking treadmill, my guy. What are you gonna do then, Keith? You can't carry the whole team on your back. There's only so many menus to eat. You need a plan. Put Quasi in. Whoa.
Take a moment. Take a second. Yeah.
You know the thing that pisses me off the most? The thing that really makes me sad? Y'all don't even f***ing try anything anymore. Yeah, yeah, you see that little face? You don't try anything anymore because I've been watching. You don't try shit anymore. I know it doesn't get views. I know what it's like to be on a channel where you put your whole heart and soul into everything and there's no views and you do it anyway. Anyways, I cannot wait for more content. I have sat on my couch alone with my 2 cats, and I have cried watching your wedding videos. Aww. I have cried watching us meet Maggie. I have cried watching Keith take his turn on Broadway. So thank you so much for having me. I'll put my number in the casket.
Try and fail, but never try to fail. Jared Leto. Hello, my name is Chanse, and I'm honored to be here as the only guy who has tried guys in this room. I think. I hope. The Try Guys finally got to do the one thing they never tried, dying. And while they are gone now, they will be deeply missed by white people who can't afford dropout TV everywhere. Watching a Try Guys video was like watching Michelangelo paint the Sistine Chapel. Film it, edit it, splice it up with 3 ads about dog food, and then asking people to smash that like button. Now, I've been tasked with reading the will. It's usually Tommy, but he said, quote, "Ew. Those breeders give me the ick." So here we go. Firstly, Ian will receive Zach and Keith's wedding rings. He doesn't need them, though, because Ian is married to the game. The game of how few words can I use to describe how my weekend went.
It was good.
The record is none. We all fondly remember when Keith tried the Subway menu. But here's a Subway the way Ian acts. Damien will receive Eugene's reason for not being here, so he finally has a legitimate excuse. Arasha, you will receive Keith's NutriBullet, so you can finally learn to blend. Yo, Mako.
Damn!
He didn't mean it. He didn't mean it. He didn't mean it.
Oh no.
Smosh will receive Zach's crutches, so we can stop leaning on Shayne just doing the same 3 characters. Eugene will receive whatever he wants from me. Including, but not limited to, this dick, these nuts, and that ass. Jacqi will receive the rights to the Try Guy show without a recipe, because Jacqi's already producing her own show without a filter. Kelsey will get the Try Guys podcast, The Tripod. If you don't know, tripod is actually a nickname for a guy with a huge penis, but the Try Guys should have gone with a more fitting title, Pop Socket. I will be receiving Eugene's number, please. We will all miss the Try Guys, and I'm supposed to say something nice here, but I didn't know Smosh, so ain't no way I know the Try Guys. Thank you. As always, if anyone objects to this death, please speak now or forever hold your peace.
Guess who decided to crash the funeral? Oh, wow. My name is Mayhem Miller. Yeah, the queen of the party. You may know me from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 10, All Stars 5, and of course, the Eugene's mother. Yeah. He gets all his beauty from me. Where is my Eugene? Oh, well, thank God he's not in one of these tacky caskets. Oh my gosh, I mean, where are my people? I mean, what in the Willy Wonka of the content factory is this? I didn't know Saturday Night Live offered remedial classes.
Okay.
But to be fair, Smosh does have a lot in common with RuPaul's Drag Race. I mean, it's been around way too long. There's not enough trade, and there actually is trade. Sitting over here trying to get a man. Hold on. I know it means a lot, you know, as a cast member to get up on this stage. Before I got on Drag Race, I mean, there was a lot of suffering. It's really hard. But being here is worse. It's worse. I mean, look at the caskets, goddamn. Oh gosh, but meanwhile, Try Guys. Wait, hold on, what the f did I say? Oh, hold on. Meanwhile, Try Guys, your content is pretty good.
No! Oh my God. Oh man.
You guys write good shit. Your content is pretty good. Clearly somebody already snatched Zach's wig. Zach looks like he ordered Rogaine. Hold the game. When I was on Try Guys Try Drag, Zach picked the name Cornucopia. Sort of describes their content. Corny. Ooh. Oh, come on. We all know it's true. No. And then Keith chose the name Ginger Vitus. Makes sense because his laugh is infectious. And whatever he has is airborne.
Go ahead, move on. Reposition.
But Zach and Keith, like, you are both bottoms, but unfortunately, my darlings, you are in the bottom 2 of the Try Guys. Oh. So the time has come for you to lip sync for your life. Or don't, because you're supposed to be dead. But. All right, I gotta go crash another party, but I'll see y'all next time. Bye.
I feel special. Okay. Wait, is Mayhem sitting here?
I can see on your face if you want.
What is happening?
Does our insurance cover this?
Oh, shit. Oh my God.
I bet you thought I was dead, didn't you? I bet you wished I was dead, but I'm not dead.
Oh, Broadway.
I want to thank you all for your attempts and your joke. You know, Smosh is a great name for this channel because what is it? What does it mean? What's it supposed to be? You know, I also want to say a really quick thanks to all the viewers of the video who skipped past the video to this point right here. If you can grab the time code to put it in the comments, I'm sure the rest of the fans would appreciate it. Smosh. It's like BuzzFeed and the Disney Channel had a baby that nobody wanted. So then Rhett and Link said, I'll buy it, but not for much. But they were able to raise that child and put it all the way to community college, where you all became the campus activities director. In all honesty, it is an honor to die on a channel that Ian Spirit died on years ago. You know, a fun fact about Smosh I've been on many Try Not to Laughs, and let me tell you, it's easy not to laugh here, but they do encourage us to laugh so that the video's funny. Everyone here is starving for attention, hungry for fame, and generally thirsty as f***. And they work so hard to advance their career, so I'm very sorry that Zach and I are here because we're not going to move the needle for you at all. By the way, I got to ask, what temp agency does Smosh get all its cast from? Because new people come in and then they go out, and it's not like they go out to do something better. It seems like they're on a stairway to nothing. There's nothing better than this. You two who are new, I don't know you, this is it. You see Ian? He's your destiny. And I'm not sure it's even something you can get out now for. I think wherever you get out, that's it. So just hang on. Just hang on as long as you can. Ian, you are the most nervous, laid-back person I've ever met. Wow. You're the kind of guy who, when you say, how's it going, you actually tell me how it's going, and it's never good. Plus, there's so many things you won't tell me. I know there's secrets going on in there. And I wonder, do you have friends? Oh. Or do you just hire mediocre comedians to sit by you?
Got me.
That one cut a little too deep? Okay, we'll move on.
Obviously, there's also Courtney behind the camera. It's very Smosh of you to put the funniest person not in the video so you can all seem funnier. I don't know if you follow her on Instagram, but it is a fun Instagram. It's sort of going for unironically ironic clown hot. It's very confusing. It's a very confusing profile, but it's fun to follow, I suppose. And then we have our two Smosh jesters, Shayne Topp and Damien Bottom. Let's start with Shayne. Shayne, you are most known for being funny on the channel, but I think we all know you wish you were most known for being hot. Your chest has made so many appearances on the channel, it gets its own credit down in the description. It's more like Shayne without a top. You know, he wishes he was hot, but really Shayne looks like a mascot for a company that makes caffeinated tires. What? face would make a great logo for toast with cocaine on it. Shayne looks like a Stretch Armstrong that doesn't stretch. And I gotta say, you know, getting strong is something a lot of comedians do when they realize they're not funny anymore. And I realize that's why you look so buff right now. Damien Haas looks like the year 2003. He looks like the rough draft of a Green Day poster on DeviantArt.
Oh my God!
When he walks into a hot topic, everyone gets excited and they look and watch him clock in for a shift. Yes, all my jokes are about his appearance, but it's mainly because I don't know enough about you. When I actually tried to Google you, my screen turned blank, and then My Chemical Romance just started playing.
Doug, these are all compliments.
Yeah. Actually, I did actually Google you, and the only thing they served me were compilations of you. So I don't know what that means, but that's just the truth. Jacqui.
Oh, Jesus.
Thank you so much for being such a big fan. I'm also such a fan of whatever it is you do. Kelsey, always a recurring guest and never a cast member, Darragh. You have managed to start so many projects. We're all excited to see if you finish one. Now, I know my fashion isn't the best because I'm not trying to the world.
I am.
I know. You know, she's known for being very sex positive and also known for being positive with so many sex things. Diseases, mainly. Look, Kelsey has had more partners than a cowboy could say howdy to.
That's bragging, okay? Looks like a bad thing.
I mean, she's allowed to have as many partners as she likes. And she's a loud person. She's so loud. Just so disturbingly loud.
It's so true.
Also, I know that Smosh recently had, by the time this posts, their live sleepover party. And as a business owner, I gotta recommend you do not allow sleepovers at the office.
That's bad.
Also, while Kelsey was mean, she sure was mean to Zach, huh? I've never been happier to not be closer to you.
It's true, we're not very close.
Anyways, it's really not. Anyways, it's time I focus my attention to the man of the hour's friend, Zach. You know, I figured just like we do in our videos, I'll go first so you have some last minute extra information to write some more jokes so you can steal the ones they cut from me. Here lies Zach, hot ankylosing spondylitis Kornfeld. Zach is a short king. Zach so wishes he was taller, his body actually grows bones right in his joints to try to help. You know, Zach often likes to let the audience know that he's very feeble. We know. You don't have to tell us all the funny ways that your body is weak. It's apparent. He's got style, though. You know, he's often dressed like somebody who read about Gen Z fashion and didn't bother to look at the pictures of it. He looks like a 15-year-old on mushrooms, but like button and shiitake mushrooms. He is the youngest member of the Try Guys, but he still is also too old to be cool. Now, you all know that Zach cut his foot on a treadmill before his wedding. We were all scared that Zach might actually die, but nobody more than me. Because without Zach, the Try Guys would just be me slowly killing myself with fast food on a channel with roughly 2 million more subscribers. We'd finally break 10. Right now, we're just losing 1,000 a week. That's true. But truly, as a coworker, he is incredibly professional. He gives notes on videos, so I never have to, and I love that. You're so motivated, hardworking, and determined, and somehow people just like me more, and I'm sorry for that. I don't get it either, man. I am phoning it in every day, and people are like, Keith's brilliant. I'm like, nah. It's unfortunate that due to our looks and size, people always will assume you to a sidekick role. You may appear as the Robin, but we both know you are the Alfred to my Batman. You are the brains of the operation, and I'm the one projecting an emoji of my face into the sky. To be honest, the Try Guys and Smosh roasting each other on the internet is sort of the saddest thing on the internet that you'll ever see. So, thanks for that.
Jesus.
I would have memorized this, but I don't respect any of you. Let's hear it one more time for Keith, who tragically died crushed by the weight of his own massive ego. It's really not his fault. His jokes were bad. He grew up in Carthage, Tennessee, and no one taught him how to read. Classism joke. Thank you all for being here. It's really cool to see how much work goes into something so mediocre.
So there's like 40 people in this room. That's why you're not making any money.
We are, of course, sorry that Eugene couldn't make it. He had more important things to do, like not being on dying channels, which is also why he's not in as many Try Guys videos anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Ian, you know, people say they miss the old Smosh, which, why? Watching old Smosh is kind of like being stuck in an elevator with two Mormon kids who just discovered sugar. Smosh is like if SNL reproduced with its sister for 7 generations. I've never watched a sketch show that made me go, wow, the writing on all that sure is smart.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, Ian is a YouTube pioneer. I was trying to write a joke about how the pioneers got cholera, and Smosh is like the comedy equivalent of cholera. You know, we'll workshop it. Sorry, workshopping a joke is when you have an idea, and then you like try and put it through the ringer, you make it, never mind, we'll talk about that. But hey, Ian, I've always liked you. I feel like we can relate to one another. I also know what it's like to be the less popular member of a group, which brings me to Damien. Damien, I pitched a bunch of jokes about you, and they made all the writers go, aww.
Bring him.
Damien has a side hustle modeling cloaks because the only article of clothing that would allow him to model is the one that covers as much of him as humanly possible.
Oh
my God! Damien owns several katanas. That's not a joke, just a very cool fact about him.
Just one.
He has a hair that screams, I have personality. No, really. All right. Jacqi, I heard you're a huge Try Guys fan, and I am so sorry about whatever brain injury you sustained from the accident. If there's like a foundation, I would love to send him a hoodie or something. No, but it's always great to meet a fan, even if I am your now third favorite Try Guy. All right, things are looking up. Shayne Topp, you blonde-haired, blue-eyed You look like an Aryan sex doll that someone forgot to stop inflating. I think Shayne is super talented. He's a really funny guy. He's super talented. Did you guys know that he was on an episode of iCarly? Yeah, you do, because he won't shut the f up about it! We f***ing get it! You're on TV! Oh, you were on the Disney Channel? Clearly didn't go so hot. You're f***ing here now, Shayne. What does it say about Smosh that the crown jewel of this channel is a Disney Channel reject? They told me you're kind of like the Try Guy of Smosh, which maybe try not being in a video. Just one. You know, just see what it's like. Don't be in a thumbnail. Just sit one out. Try it. Shayne looks like Jacob Sartorius ran as hard as he could into a crash test dummy.
Question.
Arasha, yeah, you're new, I guess. I I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. You just haven't made much of an impact yet, I guess. But keep going. You know, not a lot of competition here, so I believe in you. I really think it's gonna work out. I wrote more jokes, but it's clear to me that the meanest thing I could do to Arasha is not give her attention. So we're just gonna move on. Chanse, you're also new here. I guess because you know TikTok or something, I guess. Oh no, you're the Make-A-Wish kid. It is so nice to meet you. Mayhem, hello.
Hi.
I wouldn't dare say a mean thing.
You better
not. Kelsey.
Zach.
How the NFTs going?
Oh my God.
Kelsey is one of my best friends. We have a podcast together, but how do you roast someone whose entire life is a joke? When Kelsey and I met, she was an intern at BuzzFeed, and after her first day of work, she secretly took photos of me and sent me a commemorative slideshow. The first day that she made. How do you f***ing roast that? This is a real person.
I was excited to be there. It was my first day.
Not excited to learn how to use a camera.
Kelsey loves to talk about how much sex she has. She's taken the word slut back. You know, she's taking it back. She's taking it front. She's taking it from the PA she met at Smosh. Really taking it all over, and we're very proud of you, Kelsey.
Thanks, Zach.
True story, Kelsey hooked up with someone at my wedding. I texted her a photo, and she said, "Who dat?"
It wasn't that memorable. I don't know.
It's okay.
I'm actually surprised you had jokes planned today because they told her that this was an oral presentation. Because it gets worse. Kelsey, I know more about your vagina than I do about vaginas. Kelsey's vagina has more yeast than a bagel shop.
He's Jewish, he would know.
Kelsey, I need you to rein it in, because if you have any more sex, we are going to have to do another white couch video, and I don't want to do that. Kelsey is several years sober. We're very proud of her. So if you think that her personality is unbearable now. All right. But we're here to talk about Keith. A man who slowly killed himself so I could put my future children through college. I'll miss Keith. You know, we created a show called The Try Guys together, starring Tall Nerd, Tiny Nerd, That Asian Guy, and Redacted. In addition to Try Guys, Keith is known for eating everything at restaurants, and I am known for being his friend. Eat the Menu is a brilliant format where man sit at table and eat food. As a result, Keith's farts smell like Damien looks.
No, he's punching up. It's fine.
Keith's farts smell like Jacqi's voice sounds. Keith loves coming up with new ideas, but doesn't love logistics. He doesn't love editing, giving notes on edits. He doesn't know how to finish. Kind of like Ian in the bedroom. Talk to Kelsey after taping. She can tell you everything you need to know. If you don't know, Keith has a comedy band called Lou-Burger, or as I call them, Who Gives a F***? A band that finally answers the question, what if a bunch of mid-jokes had three-part harmonies? They perform comedy music. But really, it's great to see Keith have a side project where he finally gets to be the Eugene. That last one's actually a joke I stole from Lou-Burger, but none of you would know that because you don't f***ing listen to him. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional here. I just wrote, who could suck more dicks at once, Keith or Kirby? But Keith, I'm sad to see you go. I promise to use your death for clout. You were my best friend and truly one of the best performers I know. It didn't show today, but normally he's very good. He's very funny, usually. True. I love you. I'm grateful to have you in my life as a friend, as a creative partner. I could highlight how Keith is a creative force of nature. No one has more ideas, works harder, bursting with more energy, and that is all true. But what's truly special to me is that he's just a great guy. Aww. You know, you're fun, you're kind, and the world is better with you in it. Was better because you're dead, bitch! Now move on over, I'm coming in!
I'm taking great care of it.
That's okay.
All right.
You'll never have this. Can I have my paper?
You didn't memorize you did Broadway.
It's true, and I cared about that. I just forgot to say that Damien looked like a drawing that a high school girl would have made and then wished to life.
That's awesome. That's really good. That's really good.
That's the only one I forgot.
Yeah. What